In last lecture, we actually talked about AI. We actually talked about how AI is different from traditional programming. And there's a very important point to be made here that a traditional programming, whatever a programmer does, is part of a product. And this thing is actually same in AI as well. But what has happened is people have just get lost the focus on the big picture. The big picture being the product. AI is part of the product, not the whole product. Just because of the hype, people are just focusing that, oh, let's make AI the centerpiece, but it is not necessary that AI is a centerpiece. AI might not be the key part of your product. Your key product would be a collection of few services which are needed for something. For example, let's take a look at a software which is for audio editing. Everyone knows Audacity, which is extremely popular and really easy to use. Let's take a look at a different software which is even easier, which I use, is Ocean Audio. Okay, in this software, if you check, let's go to effects and see. In the effects, you will find things like silence, reverse, invert, smooth, remove, normalize, louden the voice, filter, equalization, delay, and noise reduction. Okay, you see, whenever I call every single thing here, it is actually calling a certain program. There might be a very complicated program in the background for noise reduction. So you see, this is the product, and these things are part of the program, which is individually, let's call them as features. Okay, AI is a way of doing something which is different from how it was in the past. You see, in OCR, okay, if I check OCR, one of the examples which is really popular is, let's just check OCR for Microsoft product, which is Whiteboard. So let me open a whiteboard, and in this whiteboard, let's just see if OCR as a functionality is present. So right now I'm writing on my PowerPoint. So this is where I'm writing. So if I just enable my pen, this is what I'm doing, A, B, C, right? So if instead of this, if I simply use an application called as a whiteboard. So this is Microsoft Whiteboard, and let me type the same thing here. So I'm saying, okay, so let me just, find out, and okay, so this is what I had already written, current. Okay, so let me just select this, okay, and click on magic here, ink beautification. So this thing should take it and actually convert it to OCR. So now OCR has been done, but also in the handwriting format. What is this? Whiteboard is a product where you can actually draw. This is a collaboration tool where you can actually draw. And this is a AI feature which can take something and convert it to the OCR, the characters which it is part of. Similarly, you could have something for drawing maybe. You could actually create a product. You could actually add that feature in this PowerPoint right now. So take a look at here. So if you pay close attention, you will see this handwriting is actually not very readable. Why? Because it is the limitation of the hardware I'm using. The pen and the tablet, they are not working together in sync, and that is why you see some such scribbles here. Now if I write a software which just takes this thing, gets it through a beautification process, and makes it much easier to read, it is really easy to do by AI. Please know here that AI in this situation is part of the product. It is not the whole product. And this is a common mistake many people do. This is why many VCs also just get carried away in lure of saying, ooh, AI first, AI first. No, it is not a AI first time. It is a time where AI is actually incorporated into the product. So you have the whole product, and in that, let's say there was this OCR piece which was legacy, in which you are using old software, in which you are doing traditional programming to do it. you remove that piece and replace it with the new way of doing OCR. The rest of the product remains unchanged. AI has to fit your product. And that's why there are few interesting blogs like this. Is your AI annoying people? So on TechCrunch, there was this blog which talked about people just emphasizing AI, AI, AI. It's not the same thing. Just because it is AI doesn't mean it is useful, doesn't mean it is helpful, doesn't mean it should be included in the product. So as long as you have this mindset that AI is actually part of the product, not the whole product, that should help you understand a lot of things. It can help you make much better decisions. And another thing which emphasizes is, now when you are learning AI, you are also part of an ecosystem. You see, there is a quote which says, it takes a village to raise a kid. That quote has a very important fact about a village. So you see, village is an ecosystem. You are not disconnected from the whole village. It is the same way when you are learning AI. Right now, everyone doing this course, you might be laser sharp, very narrow focus on just learning AI. But know that this AI is connected to the whole ecosystem of maybe business, product, data, databases, anything else. So don't silo yourself from other things which AI is connected to. So hopefully this clears up a detail about how you have to approach AI. And then in next lecture, we'll take a look at detailed look at what is process of machine learning.